Hello, lovely students, and welcome back to English with Lucy. Can you pronounce this word here? What about that one? Do you know that one? Today, I'm going to test your pronunciation skills with 15 words that often leave people puzzled and with their tongues in knots. Basically, if you know how to pronounce these 15 words, your English pronunciation is amazing. Now, many factors can make a word tricky to say. Maybe the word contains a sound or sounds that don't exist in your first language. Perhaps the spelling pattern breaks the rules, or the word might just have lots of consonant sounds together. Maybe it's just ridiculously long, requiring your mouth muscles to work extra hard. I've prepared a selection of some of the most challenging English words so that you can really put your knowledge and skills to the test and get some great pronunciation practice too. As always, there's a free PDF and exercise pack that goes with this video. We have 15 super hard words in this video, and I've added 15 more in the PDF. There are pronunciation activities and audios as well, so you can really master them and test yourself. If you'd like to download that, just click on the link in the description box or scan the QR code here, enter your name and email address, you sign up to my mailing list, and the PDF and exercise pack link will arrive directly in your inbox. And after that, you've joined the PDF club, you will automatically receive my free weekly PDFs alongside my news, course updates, and offers. It's free, you can unsubscribe at any time. Another important notice, remember that there's usually more than one way to pronounce a word. I'm going to model my pronunciation of each word. I speak with modern RP. Yours will sound different, and that's fine. What matters most is that listeners can recognize and understand the word. There are 15 words in total. Let me know your score out of 15 in the comments section. Okay, let's begin. Word number 1. How do you pronounce this? Brewery. 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 The brewery specializes in producing alcohol-free beers. So a brewery is a place that makes beer. The word has two sounds close together, and is a challenging sound, and many children often replace it with w when they're learning English. So rabbit is often pronounced wabbit, which is really sweet. My top tip for pronouncing the sound accurately, make sure your tongue doesn't touch the top of your mouth. Number 2, and I'm going to admit, this is something that I am, and it's something that I struggle to pronounce. How do you pronounce this word? Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. I don't get it right every time. I'm sure you can find an interview of me out there mispronouncing it. Sylvia is an entrepreneur who started their own tech company. An entrepreneur is a person who runs their own business, and just like with brewery, it has a couple of sounds to wrap your tongue around. Make sure you stress the last syllable, entrepreneur. This word has French origins. In fact, you'll notice that quite a few of the challenging words in this video are words that we've borrowed from other languages. Okay, let's move on to number 3. How do you pronounce this word? Quinoa. Quinoa. That quinoa and avocado salad was delicious. So quinoa is a healthy grain that's rich in fiber and protein. I remember I used to pronounce this word quinoa, and people would tell me, it's not quinoa, Lucy, it's quinoa. So I corrected my pronunciation, but it turns out both pronunciations are totally acceptable. Another reason this word is so tricky, well, most QU words are pronounced qu, like quick and require. But here, the letters QU are pronounced k, quinoa. Okay, number 4. How do you pronounce this word? This word exhausts me just looking at it. Meteorological. Meteorological. The meteorological data showed that 2023 was the hottest year on record. Meteorological is an adjective connected to the weather. This word is really hard for me to say. There are 7 syllables to get your mouth around. Meteorological. With long words like this, it can be helpful to break the word down into individual syllables and then slowly build up. Meteor, meteorological. How do you pronounce this word? I often hear this mispronounced. Laughed, laughed. Just 1 syllable there. I thought my joke was pretty funny, but nobody laughed. The verb laugh confuses many of us as the letters GH are pronounced f, just like in the words enough, cough, and rough. F is an unvoiced consonant, so when we add the letters ED to form the past simple and past participle, we add the unvoiced T sound. Laughed, laughed. Blending F and T together can be difficult at first. Ft, laughed. Oh, and if you said laughed with the short vowel sound A, that's totally correct too. Lots of places in Northern England or in Bath and Somerset, they would say laughed rather than laughed. Okay, number 6. How do you pronounce this word here? It should be indict. Indict. The grand jury decided to indict the CEO on charges of fraud. If you indict somebody, you charge them with committing a crime. It's a legal term and it's more commonly used in North America. Now, I'd forgive you for pronouncing the word indict. That is naturally how one wants to pronounce it upon reading that word. But the letter C here is actually silent and we just have the I sound followed by the T sound. Indict. Number 7. How do you pronounce this word? It should be athlete. Athlete. She's a world-famous athlete who won a silver medal in the last Olympics. Did you manage to pronounce the F sound? This sound and the voiced version, V, don't exist in many languages, and many native speakers struggle with these sounds too, and some accents replace them altogether with sounds that are easier to pronounce. For example, it's common to hear people say athlete or even athlete. The word is still recognizable. Okay, number 8. How do you pronounce this word? It's genre. Genre. What genre of music do you like? Genre means type or style, and the word begins with a sound that we don't use so much. Z, z. If you struggle to make it, try and make this sound. Sh, sh. Keep the same mouth shape and tongue position, but add voice, add vibration. Sh, z. There, you've got it. Number 9. How do you pronounce this word? It should be infamous. Infamous. Jack the Ripper was infamous for his crimes. Now, did you say infamous? Infamous. I don't blame you. It totally confused me as a child as well. I have a strong memory of standing up to read out in class and saying infamous. Luckily, the teacher was very sweet with me and corrected me nicely, so I don't have any trauma with this word. The word looks like the opposite of famous, but it isn't. If you're infamous, you're famous for a bad reason. We stress the first syllable, and the other vowel sounds become the weak schwa sound. Infamous. Infamous. Okay, number 10. I struggle with this word. How do you pronounce it? It should be indubitably. Indubitably. It's indubitably one of the finest hotels in the world. Now, indubitably means without a doubt, undoubtedly. In British English, we put a y sound before the u. Indubitably or indubitably. I favour indubitably. This y sound is often dropped in North American accents. Okay, number 11, a long one. How do you pronounce this word? It should be environmentalism. Environmentalism. Environmentalism has risen in popularity in recent years. Now, environmentalism refers to concern for the environment and how we can help people protect it. Many people find it tricky to pronounce the ism at the end. And did you place the stress correctly? Environmentalism. It's also very common to drop the n sound before the n, especially when you're speaking fast. Environmentalism. Time for number 12. This one is shorter. Can you pronounce it? It's iota. Iota. That's not going to help me one iota. An iota is a very small amount, but we only use it in negative sentences. There are quite a few vowel sounds for such a short word. I, as in I, O, like in no, and then the at the end. Iota. I say iota. Many Americans say iota, with more of a d than a t. It's not quite a full d sound though. It's a flap T. Iota. Iota. Rachel's English has a really good video on the flap T if you're interested in learning more about it. She focuses more on American English pronunciation. Okay, we're nearing the end now, so let's move things up a gear. How do you pronounce this date? Technically, it should be the 12th of February, but I don't pronounce it like that. I say the 12th of February, 12th February. I'm a proud mispronouncer. Her birthday's on the 12th of February. We've got 3 consonants to blend together here to say 12th. U, f, and f. But the good news is we can just drop the f to make things a little bit easier. 12th, 12th, 12th is such a mouthful. As we saw earlier, many speakers find th difficult to pronounce, and so some drop that instead. 12th, 12th. Some people say February, but there are so many ways to pronounce this word. I find it easier to drop the first R and put a Y before the U instead. February, February. Okay, number 14 is actually a Greek word, but we use it all the time in English because it's a delicious dip made from yogurt and cucumber. How do you pronounce this word? Tzatziki. Tzatziki. We ordered a Greek platter with tzatziki, olives and pitta. Now the t consonant cluster at the beginning is so hard for me to pronounce. And it helps if I just say sat first and then add on the T. Tzat. You will hear a lot of people saying tatsiki, tatsiki in the UK, but I think it should be tzatziki. My apologies to all Greek speakers out there if we are ruining the word. Okay, let's get on to number 15. How do you say this word? I love this word, by the way. Squirreled, squirreled. My grandma has money squirreled away in all sorts of strange places. If you squirrel money away, you save it or store it like a squirrel does, but with nuts, obviously. Hopefully not money. That's the last thing we need. Did you manage to wrap your tongue and lips around the squirreled? Right, that brings us to the end of today's video. Let me know how many of the 15 words you knew and were able to successfully pronounce. You have 15 more super hard words in the PDF and exercise pack that goes with this lesson, and you can download that for free. Just click on the link in the description box or scan the QR code here. If you like learning with me here on YouTube, you will love learning with me in my courses. I have my beautiful British English B1, B2 and C1 programs. They all have a strong focus on pronunciation, and we also have a really intense comprehensive pronunciation course. That's the beautiful British English pronunciation program. All of the information about these programs is at englishwithlucy.com. You can scan the QR code here if you wish. And if you use the code YouTube15, you get 15% off. I'll leave that with you. It would be lovely to have you in there. I think you'd really enjoy them. I will see you in another lesson. Mwah.